There are a number of rhetorical strategies that the political right has mastered. These rhetorical strategies concern the framing of policies and political issues. They are intended to secure maximum electoral success for the right with minimal policy offers to ordinary people. There is the tendency to frame donor-serving pro-capitalist policies as economic common sense and sensible economic management. Tax cuts for the wealthy, union busting, social spending cuts, privatisation, stagnant minimum wages. It is all just economic common sense. It is all just sensible economic management. This is what they tell us. They fail to explain how exactly this menagerie of donor-serving policies are intuitive. But they spend a lot of time and energy building an intuitive association between themselves and common sense. When you build such a strong intuitive association, it does not matter if it has no evidence behind it. It will become part of widely accepted common knowledge. It will be taken for granted. And that is what has happened. The political right has convinced ordinary people that anti-worker donor-serving policies are economic common sense. The left needs to challenge these intuitions. It is regarded as common sense that the right is best on economics. This is entirely out of touch with reality. This is an intuition that the left must destroy. It is a major electoral asset for the right, and it is a lie. The right does not have any economic common sense. They introduced failed austerity measures. They borrow money to fund tax cuts. These people have no economic common sense. They favour union busting. Union busting puts workers at the mercy of their employers. Workers are powerless. Without unions, wages are lower and working conditions are worse. That is not economic common sense. When workers have no money to spend, the economy will feel it. When workers lack the time and resources to look after themselves and contribute to society, the economy will feel it. Union busting is not economic common sense. The same thing is true of stagnant minimum wages. Condemning workers to poverty is not economic common sense. Workers who can afford to spend money, stay healthy, and start families are far better for the economy than workers who are poor, unwell, and lack the resources to contribute to society outside of work. That is a fact. There is no common sense in the policies of the right. Giving tax cuts to your donors is not economic common sense. It is electoral common sense, because it ensures that they will pay up next election. But it is not economic common sense. It undermines necessary spending and leads wealth to be accumulated by a few at the top. Some people would believe anything is common sense. The average person would probably accept slavery if they were told it was economic common sense. Many people are fixated on the idea of hard truths. They can accept getting screwed over again and again if the right convinces them that it is a brutal necessity of our harsh world. The reality is that it is not a necessity. We can have a better society. The donor-serving right should not trick us into forgetting that. We can do better. Some people insist that we can't, because they represent the interests of the people who benefit from stagnation and regression. But a better way of doing things is possible. For all of human history, it has been possible, and it is equally possible today. For all of human history, progress has been possible. This has been demonstrated again and again. Our time is no different. When they tell you that voting against your own interests is economic common sense, don't fall for it. The tragedy of human society is that if people hear something said enough times, it becomes common sense, regardless of whether or not it is true. Soon it is taken for granted as an intuitive fact, and regurgitated by people who don't know a thing about economics. If the left wants to win, we have to change common sense. We have to change the intuitive facts. And that should not be difficult, because the common sense propagated by the right is nothing more than donor-serving lies. A shameful excuse for a cruel economic agenda that makes working people poor and powerless, while giving maximum benefits to the wealthy. With their union busting, they make workers powerless. With their stagnant minimum wages, they make the workers poor. Workers are the foundation of the economy. The political right wages war on the foundation of the economy. And they call this economic common sense. There is no common sense in attacking the foundation of the economy. There is no common sense in making life harder for the people who make society possible. That is economic stupidity. That is a recipe for a society with a bloated upper class, but nothing to hold it up. That is a recipe for a cruel and heartless society. That is a recipe for an unstable and unequal society. The right offers nothing but donor-serving stupidity behind a thin veneer of low-quality political rhetoric. The political right must be defeated again and again.